Hey y'all. So I am officially the neighborhood delivery lady. My the customers are starting to recognize me because I'm doing, I'm starting to do, like multiple orders to their house. A lady I delivered to today, as soon as I pulled up, I knew that I had delivered there before, because you recognize the houses and the driveways and everything. But she was like, you've been here before, because each time you grab all the groceries in one swoop. And that's me if I can. If I don't have to make a million trips back and forth to the car, if I can pick up everything and just, deliver it with one trip, that's what I'm going to do. But before I go into this comparison, and like the pros and cons of Spark and how it compares to DoorDash and Instacart, I wanted to tell y'all something that I left out of my video about the teeth pulling. So ever since I got my teeth pulled, I've been having weird dreams, like really weird dreams, like borderline nightmares. And I know that tends to happen, like after trauma or something like that. And I was thinking about it. I said, well, I guess, although I was numbed up, you don't feel the pain and everything. If you think about it, I guess, any form of surgery is kind of like a trauma to your body. You're being cut into, and in my case, teeth yanked out. So even though I was numb and I couldn't feel it, I guess, having teeth pulled out by the root is a form of a trauma to the body. But I just was wondering if anybody else has experienced that after having teeth pulled, because they've been really weird and they have not stopped yet. Every night since I've gotten the teeth pulled, I've had a very weird dream, and most of them are bordering being nightmares. But that was all I wanted to say about that. So it's Sunday at 5:58, and I said I wanted to give you guys an update once I had a full weekend to do Spark. It wasn't bad earnings wise. I can't, and I did Instacart and Spark this weekend. I didn't fool with DoorDash at all. I did Instacart and Spark, more Spark than Instacart, but it wasn't bad. I think I've done this has been a better weekend than I've had earnings wise since I've been doing Instacart again up in this area. Besides maybe that day that I hit the promo, that weekend that I hit the promo, it's actually running kind of neck and neck. But I would say earnings wise, Spark seems like it may be the better platform, but the downside. So I try to stick mostly to delivery only batches, but I have done a few shopping batches, and I have put myself on a limit. I don't do over a certain amount of items. If it's a certain amount of items, I'm not going to shop it. If it's under a certain dollar amount, I'm not going to shop it. If it's going over a certain amount of miles, I'm not going to shop it. Or deliver it. Like, even if it's just a delivery only order, the quantity doesn't really matter much if I'm not shopping it. However, the items do. Like, if they have several cases of water, I'm not going to do it. Especially like if it's being delivered to an apartment, I'm definitely not, because sometimes you have to walk up the stairs. No. But the downside is, okay, so I did a few delivery only batches, and they don't let you shop out of order. So let's just say I'm right here and I'm closest to, let's just, because it lets you preview the items before you start shopping it. So let's just say I'm closest to, they want some ground beef, and I'm closest to the ground beef, but ground beef may not be the first item on their list. They don't let you shop it out of order. So if you're, it's like if I'm doing Instacart and the customer wants a bag of chips and I just happen to be closest to the chips, and I can grab it, like it's no particular order that you have to shop it in. But with Instacart, they, once you hit start shopping, they give you one item at a time, and you can't grab, like I could, like what I did yesterday, they wanted pork chops. So because I saw that in the preview, and I was right there near the pork chops, I grabbed the pork chops, even though when I hit start shopping, the pork chops, it didn't allow me. This was, I think it must have been the first time I did like a grocery order, and it didn't allow me to shop it out of order. So although I knew that they wanted those pork chops and I grabbed the pork chops, I couldn't scan them yet. But I didn't see, I couldn't do that with everything because I didn't see the entire order. I just previewed a few of the items, and I was able to know that they had the pork chops. But because I knew that, I was able to grab them since I was right there, put them in the cart. And then when I got, when the app took me to the pork chop item, I was able to scan it because it was already in my cart. But it doesn't allow you to shop out of order. And then sometimes it skips around. So like, they're very organized with telling you where everything is in the store. I have not encountered where an item wasn't where they said it was or anything. Like, they're very organized with that. But like, I may be getting several items from the A section, and then it may take me over to H, and then here I gotta come back over to A, because I guess they just do it the way the customer added it on the order. What I do like about Spark is that they don't allow, so when you're shopping with Instacart, a customer can add items while you're shopping. As long as you haven't checked out yet, they can continue to add items. With Spark, they don't allow the customers to add items. So what you're not going to have, like, you think you're going to shop for 10 items and then you end up shopping for 25 items because they didn't add it 15 more. They don't allow that. So I do like that. What I don't like, okay, so with DoorDash, and I think this is the only advantage that DoorDash has over the other two. And some people may say, well, with DoorDash, none of the batches, you don't have to go in and shop. But that's not entirely true, because you can some of the orders that come through on DoorDash require you to go in the store and shop. I don't take any of those orders though, but you do get orders that come through that require you to go in and shop. But what I like with DoorDash is that you know what you're going to get pay wise. Well, the minimum, because they can always up it. They can always add an extra tip. But it's not going to be a case where you take this DoorDash order and you're expecting to be paid $15, and then when it's all said and done, you only get $9. Because whatever shows up when you accept that offer, that's the minimum you're going to get paid. They're guaranteed that you're making at least that amount with DoorDash. Now, that I do like that. Okay, so let's move on to Instacart. So with Instacart, if I take a batch and it's $15, it'll show, let's just say 10 of it is my batch pay, and then the other 5 is a tip. I know that right after I'm done with that order, the $10 is available. And then after 2 hours, the $5 is available, unless they, decrease it or increase it. So with Instacart, the customer has 2 hours to decrease your tip. I've never had a tip decrease, thank God, knock on wood. I've never had a tip decreased. Except though sometimes the tip is based on a percentage of what the order is. So let's just say an item had to be refunded, or an item had to be replaced, and the new item was cheaper. That may adjust the tip slightly if they do it based on percentage. Now, if they give a flat dollar amount, it doesn't affect it if you have to replace an item or refund an item. That's only if they do the tip based on percentage, right? So with Instacart, they have 2 hours. 2 hours. So if they have not decreased your tip within 2 hours, then you're getting that entire $15 if $10 was your tip. $10 was your batch pay and $5 was your tip. If after $10 after 2 hours they don't decrease that tip, you're getting that whole $15, right? With $10 of it being available right away, right after you deliver it. So, and then they have up to 2 weeks to increase. So even though they can't decrease it after 2 hours, they still have 2 weeks where they can increase it and they can give you a higher tip, right? Now, Spark works differently. So after every batch, after you deliver it, your batch fee is available right away. But your tips are not. Your tips you'll see your batch pay, and then you'll have a second section that says unconfirmed tips. And I have a few of my tips there showing as confirmed, but the like a couple of them I did. I don't know how the customer confirms it. I don't know what that process looks like, but even after they confirm, so regardless of if they're confirmed or unconfirmed, your batch pay is available to you right away, but your tips, they're not available to you until that Tuesday. So you get paid the unconfirmed tips every Tuesday. So with the pay, how the pay works, you have the option where I have a pay card where they put my earnings on my pay card. Right after every delivery, my funds are available to me right away, minus the tips. But another option is you can get weekly pay. And if you decide to get weekly pay, then it's direct deposited into your account, it's direct deposited into your account, the account that you select weekly on Tuesdays. So they do the tips on the same day that they do the weekly pay on Tuesdays. So like one of the orders I took today, it was a $40 batch. With a little more than half of that was tips. So let's just make it easy math. Let's just say half of it was the delivery, the batch pay, and the other half was the tips. So I only had $15 of it available to me right away after I did the drop off. Oh no, I'm doing the math wrong. That's $30. So let's just say, okay, we're going to do half. Let's just say it was half and half batch pay, half delivery, half tip. So right after I did the delivery, $20 of it was available to me, but the other $20 won't be available until Tuesday. And I mean, it could be a good thing because, some people, they may spend everything they earn right away, that same day. So then they know that they have something else coming to them on Tuesday. However, you never really know, because what if every single customer, and I haven't had, and I haven't been doing Spark that long, but since I've been doing Spark, I haven't had any tips that were decreased either, or any, but it is a thing called tip baiting, where they will put a high tip on there, or put a tip amount just to get somebody to take the batch, and then afterwards they complain, they say they didn't get that, or anything, and they decrease the tip, right? So let's just take that $40 order, and it was a good one. It wasn't. It was a pickup. I mean, it was a delivery only. I didn't have to shop for it, and it was 3 miles, and it was in the direction that I was going anyway, so it wasn't bad. But let's just say, so my $20 was available to me right away, and the other 20 is supposed to come to me Tuesday, when they pay out the tips. But what if the customer just says, okay, I'm not going to confirm the tip. I'm going to decrease the tip. I'm not, so you never really know. The only thing that you know for sure is that you have your batch pay. But with them waiting days to, for the tips to be confirmed, and they pay it out on Tuesday, you don't know what you're going to get. So, I think this is just off the top of my head. Let's just say $60. I'm waiting on $60 in confirmed tips, right? I have no clue if I'm going to get that $60 come Tuesday, because you just don't know what the customers are going to do, right? Oh, and y'all, wait a minute, let me tell you, I forgot a lady's eggs yesterday. So, we like to protect our eggs, and we like to protect our bread, right? So I did this lady order yesterday, and I was shopping for the order, and I put her eggs up front because I wanted to make sure that they were safe. I didn't want to put them in the trunk with the rest of the groceries, because I didn't want, things sliding around, eggs get broke. So I put the same way I would do my own eggs, put them up front so that they're safe. Right after I dropped hers off, I did another order that I had to shop for, right? And I don't know how I got back in my front, because what happened was, when I dropped hers off, right after I confirmed the delivery, I sat there and another order came through, and I'm like, should I take it? Should I not take it? Should I take it? Should I not take it? I'm like, all right, it's not bad. Looked at it. I said, okay, I'm going to take it. Went and shopped for that order, dropped that off, went to get back in the car, and I'm like, what is that? The lady's eggs. No, I didn't drop it off yet. I came back in the car from shopping the next order after I put their items in the trunk. I came, to get back in the car to go deliver it, and I seen I had this lady's eggs. So I dropped off the current order that I was on. And I said, I have to take this lady's eggs back. And part of me was like, I'm sure that she probably already got her refund, but still, I want to take this, because even if you get a refund, like I've been, I'm also an Instacart customer. Every now and then I'll place an Instacart order now that I'm, driving, delivering again. But most of the times I don't, since I'm already out in the stores. I'll just grab stuff while I'm out. But, I've been on the receiving end of, I haven't had really many items missing though. What I've had was people getting, they either got the wrong thing, or they brought like stuff that was going bad or something like that. But even though you get your refund, if you need these eggs for right now for dinner or whatever, and you don't have them, it's still an inconvenience, even though you get your money back, right? So I'm like, let me go take this lady her eggs, right? So I took them back. She had already gotten the refund like I suspected, because it was at least 40 minutes had gone by. But I took them back. But that's really all that I wanted to give you guys the update on. I think Spark is the better app besides those. Oh, and they have this new thing. So I joined all of these Spark groups where, the Spark, we just talk about the apps all day long. Like I'm in all of the Instacart groups and all of that. So what happened with Spark is they started this new thing where a passcode is required for some of the orders, where when you get there to deliver it, it's a 4-digit code that they get on their side, and they have to tell you the code. And in order for you to, deliver, they have to give you the code. And I've been hearing people complain about, like, they've been complaining about it, they hate it. And they said, they're hoping that Spark will realize that it's more of an inconvenience than anything else, and they'll do away with it. But the reason why they started it, and it does, so some people said it's been happening with them with every delivery they've had to do this. I haven't had, today was my first day doing it, and it was only with one of my orders. And I was like, oh gosh, because I see people complaining about it so much, but it really wasn't that bad. But they're saying that the reason why they implemented it is because people were saying that they wasn't getting their order. So I guess it's like people who have had complaints, or people who tend to say that they don't get their order. From what the other shoppers are saying, is that they think those are the people where they're most likely that it will pop up that they require a code. So that it's really for our protection, because if they're giving us a code that only they have, like it's unique to their app, and they have to give it to us before we deliver, that's our proof that we did deliver the groceries. Although we have to take pictures and everything, and I always try. Sometimes it's not possible because a lot of the houses up here, like where the addresses are located, some of them are only down like on the on the curb, they're not really on the house. So, but in most cases, I try to, when I take a picture of my delivery for proof, I try to make sure I get the address in the picture, so I haven't really had any problems saying with besides that one on the DoorDash that I was telling y'all about, where they said it was never delivered. That was a lie. Or they said it was extremely late. Whatever they happened when I got that infraction that I shouldn't have gotten. But I have not, had any complaints. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I don't like that tip thing, y'all. Because it's like you never know. You just never know what you're going to get come that Tuesday, and it makes some of the batches, like if you don't really get the and I try to accept mostly orders that have a high batch pay, where the tip doesn't really matter. Like even if they was to say they don't confirm the tip, or they decrease the tip, I try to take orders where the batch pay is decent enough where I don't even, the tip doesn't even really factor in too much, right? And some of them, I've seen a couple of them come through today, and I'm like, oh, this is a decent order, I'm going to take this one. And the batch pay itself, I clicked on it, I'm like, oh, it's not even a tip on here, but the batch pay is pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to take this. And I kind of like those. I like those because, what you see is what you get. You know what you're going to get with those. You know what I mean? There's no tip on there, but the batch pay is decent. Take the order, and you know that you're not going to have no problems with not getting what you thought you was going to get paid. Oh, let me tell y'all this real quick, then I'm going to let you go. I was going in to do a shop order. And I get there and the app starts glitching. That's another thing that people were complaining about recently, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, it was a couple people said they had no batches came through at all. Like absolutely no batches came through. And that's definitely a glitch, because somebody somewhere is going to be placing an order. And it was a couple different people said not one batch came through, right? So that was a glitch. But then the day my app was glitching, I had to call customer service. I'm not going to take y'all through the whole everything, all the troubleshooting and all that. Long story short, they had to end up removing a batch. But I got paid the show up fee. So I got paid, and it was a good one. But I got paid like $4. It was like close to $5 just for showing up. So that wasn't too bad. Yeah. So that's about it. But I was like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? I didn't think I was going to be able to do any batches the rest of the day. I was like, I thought that the app was just going to be, ridiculous for the rest of the day. But I think I remember talking to the lady on the phone, and they had to do an escalation because none of the troubleshooting things worked. But I remember saying to her that I had to reset my password and everything. It was a mess. I was going to try restarting my phone to see if that would help anything, but I never did, and it ended up correcting itself. So that was a good thing, and I was able to do more orders. But I'm about to run in here in the Dollar Tree. Hopefully, my sister and Neighborhood Insurance Baby are not in the car, but hopefully I don't encounter any weirdos like the guy who opened the car door. I'm about to run in here. Then I'm going to run into the market real quick, and what do I need to run in the market for? Do I even have to run in the market? I think I do. Anyway, I'm going to end this. And as always, it's the neighborhood insurance lady, who is also the neighborhood delivery lady. And I'm wishing you love, laughter, life insurance, and pieces of the puzzle. Until next time. Bye.